Hey, it's Friday, so that means it's time for Mandy's Minutes. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 overlooked financial benefits to owning your own home and how starting to prepare for home ownership now can help steer you in the right direction for greater financial equity, greater financial security, and greater financial savings. In today's housing market, it is really clear that there are a variety of benefits to owning your own home. You'll hear about increasing your equity. You'll hear about a chance to build your net worth. You'll hear about the ideas of appreciating home values and how it's a greater return on your investment. But there are still 3 overlooked financial benefits to owning your own home, and we're going to talk about them today. So if you are a new home buyer and or a renter, it's never too early or too late to think about home ownership and how to get started to have a longer, stronger financial security. Let's talk about it today. So 1, you won't always have a monthly housing payment. What does that mean? Well, from a personal financial advisor, Dave Ramsey, he states that every payment brings you closer to owning the house. When you pay your rent, the money is just simply spent. Gone. Goodbye. Nothing is returned. But when you pay your mortgage, you work towards the full ownership of your own home. So essentially, a return on your investment. When you lease a vehicle, you just make payments for that vehicle, right? You don't ever actually get to own that vehicle, turn around, sell it, and earn cash, right? You just return it to the dealership. Same thing. When you're renting an apartment, when you're renting a home versus owning one, you're doing the same idea. You are just borrowing money, borrowing a space, and never actually owning anything to return and turn around and sell it for money in your pocket. All right, so idea number 1. What if I told you that eventually you wouldn't have a housing payment? Financial advisor Dave Ramsey states that every payment you make towards your mortgage brings you closer to owning your own home. When you pay rent, that money is just simply spent. It's gone. Bye-bye. It's not returning. It's gone to the landlord, and there's nothing that's going to come back to your investment. But when you pay down a mortgage, you're essentially working yourself to the full ownership of that own home. You're essentially eliminating the monthly payment you make on your house. And in return, you're building a strong savings and a strong line of equity. And as that equity begins to grow, your net worth will begin to grow, and you can turn around and reinvest that equity and or savings into either a larger home or simply just keep it in your pocket and in the bank. All right, financial homeownership tip number 2, taxes. We all love taxes. So did you know that the property taxes that you pay annually are deductible? Did you know that the mortgage interest that you pay on your monthly mortgage payment is deductible on an annual basis? These 2 ideas can definitely be filed on your tax returns annually. And whether it's your first home or your 5th home, there's a huge financial advantage to having some tax relief tied to that interest that you're paying. Be sure to work with a tax professional to understand what can be deducted and if you are eligible for any type of tax exemptions related to the financial ownership of your home. This is definitely something that renters don't get to take advantage of, but it's one more way for you to build up that financial savings on an annual basis. All right, homeownership tip number 3. Monthly housing costs are definitely predictable. There is a benefit to owning your own home. When you own your own home, you own that mortgage and you know what you are going to pay month after month. When you're renting, that isn't always the case. Dave Ramsey believes that rent rates will go up. Even if you find a killer deal or a hot area, inflation, competition, and rising property values will cause your rent to go up year after year. Well, that is true of the housing market too. Housing costs will go up. But when you own your own home, you are paying down your mortgage, building up that equity. So then when you turn around to sell your home, you will have a greater return on your investment. All right, so let's put all of these financial ideas together. The ideas of home ownership. And what does all of this mean? We've talked about the ideas of tax advantages. We've talked about the ideas of net worth. We've talked about the ideas related to skyrocketing rental prices. By owning your own home, you certainly have the ability to control your mortgage, to control and budget your finances over a longer period of time. Let's be honest, rental prices have been skyrocketing since 2012. With today's low mortgage rates and the opportunities to purchase your own home, you certainly can lock in your monthly payment at a much lower rate than you ever would be by renting a home or renting an apartment. So, spending time making a long-term investment by owning a home will turn a greater return on that investment, build equity, establish net worth, and create and generate savings. All that to be said, if you are ready to start feeling the benefits of stability, savings, predictability, and a return on your long-term investment of owning your own home, reach out to me, Mandi St. Ange, your local Texas realtor, to determine if buying sooner rather than later is right for you. Thanks for joining me this week on Mandi's Minutes. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Take care.